My surgery will be next Tuesday. How long after can I drive? Well, there's sort of two questions there, Karen. Well, there's not. It's one question clearly, but there's two things to say. One thing I would say in general: how long can you drive after surgery? And the other is how long can you drive after your surgery, which is clearly what your question is, because you don't care about how long you can drive after surgery generally, do you? But after surgery, as you said, I'm going to answer that anyway for the viewers at home. So after surgery, generally, you can generally drive after a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, depending on. So I don't really want to talk because you can tell people what you're having if you want, but I'm not going to really divulge that, Karen, because it's not. It's just between you and me. So generally, surgery is a couple of weeks. It depends on having done. So breast surgery is often like sometimes after a week, particularly breast augmentation, breast implants after a week, it might be all right. But I normally say two. Stuff like a breast reduction is slightly bigger, and tummy tucks are bigger. So they're like 2 to 3 weeks. And then I just gradually go into it. So like with work and things, are you asking for work or not? Yeah. So often people ask for work, but so often I say 3 weeks to be safe after something like a tummy tuck. Sometimes, and one of my questions, actually, Karen, this is going to segue. Oh my God, it's almost like this was planned. This is going to segue into my question here. Oh, what? My emoji hasn't worked. Oh God, is that me? Did it just say a square after time? I'll put an emoji there. Anyway, someone's asking about having two operations at the same time. So sometimes people have two operations at the same time. In fact, the question was about having two operations at the same time. And my answer to that was, Karen, I am coming around to the answer. I know it looks like I'm being a bit around the houses. So can you have two operations at the same time? So it depends on what operations you're having. So it's quite common for people to have, like, for instance, breast and tummy operations. But that does knock you back, and it does knock you back quite a bit. Particularly the tummy side of things. So I would say if you're having that sort of surgery, it's going to be at least 3 weeks. So I guess that's the answer, Karen. At least 3 weeks. And then sort of gradually get back into it and see how you go and then build it up. So short distances to start with. But surgery like breast and tummy is quite common. And it is usually the tummy, as I say, that knocks you back more. So I've just done one just now, just before I came here. I've just done a breast and tummy op. Yesterday I did a tummy and legs op, which is sort of the same sort of area. So can you have two operations at the same time? If they're the same sort of area, then yeah, fine, because you're sort of laid up after your tummy tuck, so your legs healing is not so bad. The problems come when people have two different areas, like sorry, dog. For instance, arms and legs. Like if you're having an arm reduction and thigh reduction, that's quite a big deal. So I think I would sort of be careful about doing different areas, because if your arms are out of action and your legs are out of action, bit grim. Whereas if you're having a tummy tuck and breast, you sort of like trunk is out of action. So it depends on where the operations are and what parts of your body are. And if they're in the same sort of area of your body, then yes, two operations is reasonable. But if they're in different areas, then it might be, more of a problem for recovery. So just think of yourself. Think yourself if you've got your arms bandaged up and your thighs bandaged up, and you've difficulty walking and difficulty moving and getting out of bed and getting into bed and, doing stuff. So two operations can be done at the same time, and I can understand there's cost advantages to that, but also recovery advantages, that you want one recovery and all that sort of thing. So it's very common to do two operations at the same time, but you've got to think about what operations they are.